Welcome to the Global Education and Scholarship Summit for Africa. My name is Lepang Ferguson, and I am the Executive Director of GESSA. I'm so excited to be here today. I've been doing everything that I could to be here on time. We had so many technical problems, and everyone who knows me, I know that all my friends are watching and thinking, I cannot believe that Lepang is live. I don't do this under any circumstances, but here we are today. I mean, sometimes things happen and you just have to do what you have to do. I don't like going live. I used to go live when I was a news anchor, and I remember how anxious I used to feel before every single broadcast when I knew that we were going live on that particular day. So I'm that 7 o'clock news girl, but I do not like being live. But I'm here live with something that I'm so passionate about. I am so excited about this program, and I know that you're going to understand why I am so passionate about it once you hear what it's all about. By the end of this week, I assure you, if you're not sold today, by the end of my session right now, you are going to be sold by the end of the week. You're going to be asking, where do we sign up? What do we do? This is a program that is just free. It's for the public. It's for people. It's for African youth. It's for African parents. It's for African corporates. It's for African governments. Because I know that as long as we make higher education accessible to young Africans, everybody is going to be benefiting from it. Now, all we want is just keep the comments coming, ask questions, and we are going to be getting back to you as we go along. Let's go with the flow. We're here together right now, live. I know that my partner Sharon, she's in Australia right now, probably just screaming and laughing, saying, I can't believe you're doing what you said you'd never do. But here I am. So today, we're just going to be talking about what the summit is all about. Actually, what the summit is about and what the program is about. But first, I'm going to be talking about the summit because we're here talking about the summit. We're talking about speakers. We're talking about the different kinds of things that our speakers are going to be presenting throughout this week. And then we're going to go into the program. So you'll be able to understand and unlock and unravel some of the mysteries that you said you've had. I've received so many emails and texts and messages, everything. People ask a lot of questions. Some of the questions that I hear is, what are we going to learn during the summit? Is it important for us to join the summit? How young or how old should you be to be part of this summit? And I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter. As long as you can hear my voice, you can make out my words, then you're in the right place. So first, let's talk about the fact that GESSA is really all about bridging all the gaps in education, in higher education. How do we bridge gaps? Well, first of all, everyone who's a parent knows how painful it is to be trying to get your child into university. When you're looking for information, when you don't know where to go, where you're asking questions, you're sending hundreds of emails, you're asking everyone that you know how to do this. Sometimes you fall into a few traps. Sometimes you go in the wrong direction. Sometimes you're just misinformed. And a lot of us are misinformed. And I am not ashamed to say I was that mother. I was that mother that had absolutely no idea what to do. When my 16-year-old turning 17 at that time, she said, I want to go to this particular university. I had told her all about the universities in Atlanta. So of course, she was excited. She's like, that's where I want to go. And she found her course, and she had known which course she wanted to do for a very long time. So my struggle was that I didn't know where to start. I said, okay, let's get on the website. Let's send emails. Let's look at admissions. let's get the right information. Let's see what our financing options look like. There was a lot of things. And along the way, I then started talking to other people. And, I felt as if it delayed my process because I didn't get to the point of just sitting down and examining what I needed as a parent. So basically, I needed to be the one doing all the research. First and foremost, that's what you need to know. If you're going to put research into somebody else's hands, then you're going to go into the wrong direction. I'm just here to give you tips. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to bring people along who will tell you the truth. So you're going to be hearing some of these things from the horse's mouth. It's not just about me. It's not about just the people around me. I wanted to make this about everyone and anyone who wants to know what it's going to be like to get on an adventure of looking at higher education options, either for themselves or for their children. I know that we tend to talk a lot about studying abroad, right? And I know that a lot of organizations talk about study abroad programs. This is not a study abroad program. This is a program that helps you understand the values and the kind of relationships that you can start to create, the networks that you can look at, the research you need to apply when you are looking for those opportunities for universities and colleges, incubators, accelerators, how to get connected to mentorships, mentorship programs, leadership programs, which I was a part of and I absolutely loved. So we're going to talk about some of these things that you might want to know about. But today, I'm going to be talking about some of, let me just talk about myself first. I think people always want to know, who is Lepang? I'm one of those people who just has this habit of just getting off social media when I feel like I am exhausted. I remember in 2008 when I was introduced to Facebook. I'm going to tell you a lot of the stories. I was introduced to Facebook as something that people were into. And I remember, people were like, "Are you on Facebook?" And I was like, "What's Facebook?" And I remember getting on Facebook and I thought, wow, this is kind of like being present without being present. It suited me so well because I am an extreme introvert. So I thought, wow, this is so awesome. I can be in people's lives without physically being in people's lives. It was just perfect. Along the way, learning how to use things like Twitter and LinkedIn and so forth, I've met so many amazing people. And this is my journey with social media. I can tell you I've met people that I never thought I could meet. Genuine, kind, forthcoming, helpful, people from everywhere. It doesn't matter the context or the continent or the culture or whatever. But I've met people that have inspired me so much. And this is also how I've become who I am now, even leading to this kind of a program. I had a conversation with my friend Sharon this morning. So we were on a live, and the live was supposed to be airing after this. But as we were talking and engaging, and I remember when we met like 23 years ago, I mean, it's a long time, right? It is a very long time. So we met years ago when we were both studying in Australia. She was at Bond and I was at University of Canberra. And then I ended up in Melbourne at Swinburne University of Technology. Now, I remember those days. There was a big group of Botswana who was studying in Australia. At that time, there was such a robust movement of South African students going to Australia. It was a very good time for us. We could sense it. The network was amazing because we also just got to interact and integrate within Australian culture and Australian society. So those are the things that have made us who we are. We were able to get such an amazing experience of learning and interacting and becoming, I'd say, confident, because you need to kind of develop like a confidence a certain type of confidence when you're young and you're far away from the comfort zone, which is your parents and your family, and you're trying to get into a new environment and trying to interact with different people from different walks of life. Now, what happened during those years was, as an international student, I was not on a scholarship. I was on private funding from my parents. I will tell you one thing that I know for a fact: it is not an easy feat, either for a parent or for a child studying abroad. It is not easy at all. The lessons and the kinds of experiences that I had as a private student, having to work so many jobs and, just a lot of things, a lot of challenges, a lot of growing pains, I should say. But I realized that it is because of those years, it's because of those experiences that I have become who I am. When I started this program, it was merely out of desperation because I was looking for an opportunity for my daughter. I thought, I need to do something. I need to, she wants to go to this university. I don't even know who to talk to or where to look. But along the way, just the challenges and the lessons just taught me that there's so much going on that we don't know about. We may have so much access to information, but it is not often what we relate to. It's not relatable, even though it's relevant. So it could be relevant factual information about a university and all their courses and all of that, right? But there's so many underlying things that we also need to examine about an institution and what it's going to do for your child or for you if you're planning on actually going back to school. Because some people are thinking about postgrad or PhD. Another amazing person, Dr. Bojosi Hamunapili. At that time, she was BJ. We've been friends for 22 years as well. And she now lives in Canada. She's got a PhD, and she went through this entire process over the years as well of just trying to navigate the education system through looking for scholarships. She was in Botswana for some time, but when she decided to go do her master's and her PhD, of course, she was looking for the financing, she was looking for opportunities, and that's when she started going through this exploration, I'd say, of looking for the right information and what to do. Now, at that time, she claims she was just avoiding doing the work that she had by going on this adventure. But that adventure worked for her because she's written this amazing book that we are going to talk about in the next few days, and it's called Scholarships for Africans. Now imagine that, a book that is tailor-made for you and your child to know what it is and how to get the best out of global scholarships. I'm excited about speaking to people like Daniel Kono. Like Daniel, I met only recently, but he is working for University of Canberra. Now, guess who was at University of Canberra? Yours truly. Now, you can imagine all the things I'm going through. I'm going through this nostalgia, this amazing experience of I'm starting a program that, of course, is very, very difficult in terms of everything that I'm doing. But you can just imagine the difficulty of trying to achieve something, trying to achieve, trying to make a program work, but you don't even know who to talk to. And I was so encouraged by the fact that I could go back to my former university and have a conversation with them, a truthful conversation about what I feel is going on in my environment, what I feel is going on in Botswana, in South Africa, with my friends all over Africa, really. I've been fortunate to be able to work in different parts of the continent. I've also been fortunate just to have met a whole lot of people. Like I told you about my Facebook adventures and LinkedIn adventures where I just meet people all the time. So we started to walk together and look at different areas, things that we can uncover and discover together. At the beginning, I said we were all about bridging gaps, right? And bridging gaps is really about identifying opportunities. Now, some of these opportunities, I believe, are not just related to universities, but they're also related to programs that people can do that will help them succeed in university or when embarking with their careers. There's two basic things that this program called GESSA wants to identify. So apart from the summit, which we're going to be going through this week, there's the program. Now, the program is free. It's not something right now that is set in stone. We are discovering it with our partners as we go along. But as we do, we encourage people just to register, become part of our network, get information that is relevant, that you need, so that you know what's going on out there. You know what's going on with institutions. You know what's going on in the corporate sector. You know what's going on with universities, and you know what's going on with governments, because we are also citizens of beautiful African countries where we are looking for opportunities in our own countries. This year, there's going to be different events. This is just the first one. I don't want to stick to one certain region and say this is all there is, because I believe that the world up is so big. There's so much going on. There's how many countries in this world? Why should you only look at one region? There's opportunities everywhere. Being part of a global network means that we're able to look at all the different opportunities that exist within different regions. And we as a team, as GESSA, my partners, my friends, people in my network are able to discuss or create a forum around the program that allows us to have an honest engagement about everything related to education. Now, the reason why I say everything related to education is because there's all these things that you have to do from the onset. Now, if you're a student, if you're still in high school, I know I've got a lot of high school kids here. Some of them are my children's friends, some of them are my nieces and nephews' friends. And I've been so excited by the interaction that I've had with a lot of young kids who've been asking questions. And I'm so amazed when a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old asks you an intelligent question that you think, did I think that when I was 16? Was I even on this level? Okay, first and foremost, just having registered. If you still want to register to be a part of the program, keep going to our website, gessasummit.org. gessasummit.org. You can see GESSA on top of me. It's gessasummit.org. Keep registering. You're not losing anything at all. So let me talk to students. But first, just send me your comments. I want to hear what everybody has to say. I've got a comment right here, actually. I've got a comment from Bokang Sadi Ketile. Hi, Bokang. You said that's awesome. How do I register and what are the requirements? Well, I've just mentioned that. It is absolutely free. All you need to do is get on our website, just register. Tell us where you're looking at. Tell us what you want to do. And as I said, this program is growing. It's not just about the countries that are listed there, because we're absolutely going to go throughout Africa as well. I believe that we've got an amazing, robust, energetic education system within higher education. And I believe that it's also time for Africans to go into each other's territories. If you're in the south, go to the west, go to the east. There's amazing universities in West Africa and in East Africa that we want to explore. We want to explore this with educators and with professionals and with governments and with cities, because we want things that are dynamic for students. So don't think that this is all about Australia or Canada or the United States. It's about the world. We want to go out there and make it the global education and scholarship summit for Africa. Thank you for that, Bokang. Now, another thing that we're going to talk about is, as a student, there's a lot of things that you need to think about. I've just mentioned that a lot of 15 and 16 and 17-year-olds have been asking questions. Some people actually ask through their parents, please ask Lepang or Auntie Lepang, as they know me. Just ask her, what we need to do and what the program is about, and if we can talk to her. Of course, you're free to send us emails. You're free to send us texts. All the information is always online. It's on our website. You get newsletters. You get information about how to contact us and how to keep in touch with us. But young people, I want to start with you. Starting with you means it is time for you to know that you're not too young to go on this adventure. Just because you seem to be an ambitious 15-year-old doesn't mean that the world cannot meet your ambition. There's a great big world out there, and you can dream it up now and go for it. Right now, you need to focus on your grades. You need to focus on your continuous assessment. If you don't focus on those things, you are going to have a challenge, okay? Think about the fact that your parents are making so many sacrifices to get you into schools. Some of you are in private schools that cost a lot of money, just like tertiary costs a lot of money. But your parents love you enough to make those sacrifices so that you can get the best education, so that they can create a world for you that is, that you can soar. And if you don't follow suit, if you become complacent right now, if you make a decision that you're not going to study hard and do the best you can, not just for you, not just for your parents, but what about your community? What about your country? What about your beautiful continent? You need to work hard and apply yourself. You need to apply yourself not just with your grades, but apply yourself with other things like extracurricular activities, okay? Volunteer. I know you don't like hearing this. I know you don't like hearing that you need to volunteer, right? But you need to. You don't have a choice. I used to volunteer so much in high school. Like, I was on tuck shop. Every single week I was on tuck shop. I was, we'd pick up litter. We would volunteer to go and watch a rugby match that we didn't necessarily need to watch or we didn't want to go, but to support and give moral support to our teams, to the boys that were playing rugby, to the girls that were playing tennis and basketball, to the hockey players. Come on, guys, you just have to participate. Don't just watch everybody living their lives, playing basketball on your behalf, playing sports for your school, representing you, but you don't go out on a Friday or Saturday to go and support them. That is what volunteering is. Just volunteer to help with tuck shop. Volunteer to serve people drinks, to give people snacks during games. That gets you places. Trust me when I tell you, somebody's always watching. Somebody who can help you in life is watching you right now, and they want to help you get to the next place, but you have to show up and be a part of that. Another thing, you are the future leaders of Africa. You need to start getting involved in programs apart from school. Find out what's happening on the weekends. Find out where you can volunteer. Find out where you can serve. Find out what courses you can do that are outside of school. You can join clubs. You can do things with other young people that takes you somewhere, and you become lifelong friends with these people. When I was in Interact in high school, that was many, many years ago, okay? A lot of you were not born yet. That's why I say it was a long time ago. I was in the Interact committee. Now, Interact, I was introduced to by a friend of mine called Boik Chueshe. Now, I was much younger than Boik and everybody who was in Interact. But because Boik knew how much I loved events and helping out and volunteering every single time that there were events in school, he actually nominated me to go on Interact. So I was the youngest member of Interact at that time because somebody in upper six realized that I had the potential because I was volunteering for so many things in school. You can help in the library. You can help your teachers pack their books, pack their bags, walk them to the car. Those things take you the extra mile. It is not a joke. You don't get to where I am, for instance, by just deciding to live on your own terms and without helping people, without participating with communities, without participating with your parents' needs. You need to go out there and do something, regardless of how old or young you are. Now we're going to talk about how you apply for school. And if you're still in school, what you're thinking about is, where do I start looking? A lot of young people already have an idea of the universities that they want to attend because maybe their parents went there, or their aunts and uncles went there, or somebody that they love and they know went there, somebody they admire. You need to start thinking about the city, the place, and and the process of application. Tell your parents, mom, dad, I want to apply to this university, but let's get the information now. I've got 2 years or a year left of high school, but let's start thinking about it so that we plan ahead. It's never too early to plan. Applying for the right program, that's a big thing. At this point, I always try to encourage counselors, guidance counselors, and teachers to get involved in their students' programs. When you know a student, you're able to help them. When they come to you and ask you questions, you should be able to apply yourself. This is one of the reasons why GESSA is here. We're here to help you as a counselor or a teacher to answer your students' questions. Don't just send them to us. You are part and parcel of our community. We welcome you here. You need to be on board with this so that you can always understand what is going on. There's so many changes within higher education, within the university industry every single year. So if you don't keep abreast of the changes, how are you going to know what to do next year? It's about consistently learning and applying yourself. You need to go back to your teachers if you're a student and if you're a student and ask them, do you know about GESSA? Let's get on the GESSA website and register and start being a part of this program. Mentorship is a big thing for us. We believe that young people need mentors. Now that can be kind of a complex thing, I know, but it can start where you are. Your teacher can become a mentor. Someone in your family or in your extended family or family network can become a mentor for you right now. It doesn't mean that you can't start examining leadership roles from an early age, okay? GESSA is about mentorship. It's about leadership. Now, one of the things that I'm going to talk about is why we believe that mentorship and leadership is so important for this generation right now. Africa is a very young continent. And young, not meaning the physical continent itself, I mean that the majority of Africans are below the age of 30. Imagine 70% of Africans, 70% of Africans are below the age of 30 or 35. A few years ago it was 35, now it's 30. You can imagine how dynamic that is. What an amazing opportunity for you if you're under 30. Think about all the things that are coming up for you that you can still examine and explore. There's so many things that are happening for young people, but I know that you can create an opportunity for yourself by just exploring what is going on in mentorship and leadership roles. I've got a question here, and somebody just asking about registration. Now, registration is ongoing. If you have registered, you've got an email that has confirmed that you've registered, but it's ongoing for us to be sending you information throughout this entire week and going forward. So this whole year, this whole week, this whole year, you'll have information in your inbox. Another thing, maybe if you haven't seen it, especially if you may use Gmail, for instance, try refreshing, try going into your promotions or your spam folder. Just look around, but that email is definitely in your inbox. We're going to talk about funding, and we're going to talk about scholarships, right? This is what everybody wants to know, the money part, right? Everybody wants to know about the money. Everyone, I want to know about the money. I wanted to know about the money. I still want to know about the money. That is such an integral and important part of education, right? Somebody is going to be paying. Somebody pays for this. If it's not a university that's paying, it's your parents, or it's government, or it's an organization. But can you imagine the sacrifice that somebody is making to commit themselves to paying for your fees to go to university? This is why I say we can't take it for granted. We can't take a program like this for granted. We actually have to be so thankful that there are opportunities out there, that there's people, some of them are even deceased. I mean, there's scholarship programs all around the world from people who made a decision that they were going to leave money or their whole estate to educating young people. Can you imagine that? What a sacrifice. Organizations are making these sacrifices to make sure that people stay going onto programs, either short courses, long courses, whatever it is. But those education scholarships are available, but you need to know how to do it. So you don't just wake up and find a scholarship waiting for you just because you've done well in school. That's not going to happen. Yes, you are going to do well. We expect that you're going to do extremely well in school, but don't expect not to work hard for your scholarship. As I've said, I've given you some prerequisites. I've said extracurricular activities help you go the extra mile. They will assist when it comes to some of the applications that you make, because you are going to be asked certain questions. Have you ever volunteered? I hope none of you say no. Everybody's got to say yes. So all these things are so important. You've got to have the prerequisites or the requirements that it takes to get a very good scholarship. There's some universities that fortunately offer partial or full scholarships, just depending on the course and depending on the kind of degree that you're doing. So if you're doing an undergraduate degree, for instance, you might find in some areas, in some countries, you'll be able to find a full scholarship. But there's some countries that only offer you a partial scholarship. So, or even a full scholarship. But if you're doing postgrad, there's a lot of opportunities that allow you to go into those postgraduate or PhD degrees and get a full scholarship. So you've got to be able to investigate them. But I've already told you about a resource that is extremely good. Like I've told you about a book that you are going to get on Amazon, and look for my friend, Dr. Bujosi Hamuntlepiri. You are going to buy that book. It is called Scholarships for Africans. Even before she speaks this week, you guys must just kindle it every day. Get on your Amazon, get the book, get the hard copy, get the paperback, get whatever it is that you need to get, but get the information, guys. Just get the information. You've got to stay committed. One of the things that we always talk about in our program, stay committed. You've got to stay committed. You are not going to give up. This is not a giving up season. There's a lot of challenges. I know that COVID came with so many challenges for a lot of young Africans. I know it did for a lot of for a lot of Botswana, because it was so close to home. We lost so many friends, so many family members. Now you can imagine a young person who has lost either a parent or both parents. This is the situation that we are in today, guys. We're having a crisis that we're trying to resolve, but we're all in this together. So we are not left to our own defenses. We have got the support. I want to support you because I've got the support. I've got the support of my partners, of my friends during this amazing program. I have got the support. So I want to make sure that you also get the right support. Now, come on. If somebody's offering you something and offering you help with something, why not take it? Why not take the opportunity to explore and to expand yourself? You're not paying for it. It's free. We don't have to keep following after things where you have to pay all the time. Let's start making things happen for ourselves with the opportunities that the environment is trying to offer us. This is one of those programs. There's a lot of questions that I am seeing. And okay, somebody else just saying, thank you, Getty. Thank you, Getty. We have met a few times this week, and this is so awesome. We keep running into each other. But this is from Getty Mutabi. She says, congratulations, Lepang and team. This is absolutely amazing. It is amazing. It's been a journey. Starting GESSA, as I said, was just me and my daughter, just looking at opportunities, trying to find the best way we could get from one place to the next. And the discovery of not just the opportunities that are available for young people, but realizing that people don't know. People don't know what they have. Sometimes, what kills us or what destroys us is just the lack of knowledge. It's just the lack of knowing how to get from one place to the next. I wish that the time when I was a private candidate in university in Australia, I wish there was a program like GESSA. Like, this is why I am here today. It empowers me because of everything that I went through. I realized that if I can do it for one or two people, 5 people, 10 people, I don't know how many people are going to be impacted by this program, but I'm doing it anyway. But I know that somebody is going to win. And that one person is absolutely enough for me and my team. Another thing I want to say is, it's not too late. There's a lot of people that are feeling like they are in a rut. And come on, we talk about this every single day. I meet so many people. I used to feel like I was in that rut. And even before this program, I felt like I was in a rut and I was trying to explore something new. I just didn't know how it would show up. Now, what if going back to university to do your PhD is the answer? What if? There's so many opportunities that you can't afford to miss out. You might be onto something. You might be onto something that you haven't identified yet as something that you will do. Maybe you've been thinking about it and you've been, getting onto websites and just kind of looking, now you need to work. If you've been at that place where you're in a comfort zone and just say, oh, let me do a little bit of research, maybe I could, this is the time. The opportunity could be anywhere. It could be in Nigeria. It could be in Kenya. It could be in Ghana. And I'm talking about places where so many amazing things are happening. South Africa, come on, guys. We are Africa. We can do this. Being an international student doesn't mean you have to go overseas. You are an international student from Botswana if you go to South Africa for school, or go to Ghana, or go to Kenya, where there's so many amazing universities as well. Go to Uganda. Let's start creating the exchange between ourselves so that as we proceed, as we progress, we're actually moving in the same direction. That makes it count for regional investment as well. So there, we can examine that, we can explore that together. There's something that I am so passionate about at the moment, and I know that it seems like maybe I keep talking about Australia a lot, right? But I am an alumni. I lived in Australia for many years, and of course, it's a place that I can relate to. I know how I feel about it. I can relate to the environment. I can relate to the university environment. Okay, from experience. I have been seeing how the trend to looking for universities with most parents or most people, even if you're doing your PhD or your postgrad or any postgraduate degree, sometimes all you're thinking about is, I just want to go back to school. No, that's not what this program is all about. That's great. Have the ambition, have the desire, do it. But that's not what this program is all about. This program, okay, allows you to look at the host countries that you're going to. We do all the research for you. We find out what opportunities are happening in these countries. And let me tell you a few opportunities so that you can get excited, because I get excited when I think about it. I get excited when I talk about it. I am always making so much noise to my friends. I think they're like, okay, we'll hear from you next week. But I want to tell everybody who's on this live, because we're here right now, we might as well do it. Australia is hosting the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Okay? Imagine how huge that is. Australia is also going to be hosting the 2032 Summer Olympics. That is huge. Coming from a sports, I've worked in sports before. In fact, I was working, if anybody was in Gaborone during 2014, you know that we hosted the most amazing games through the Botswana National Olympic Committee and Botswana National Sports Council, right? They were called the African Youth Games 2014. Right? Do you remember that? If you were here, tell me. Do you remember that? I want to see the comments. I want to hear people say, yes, we remember how amazing that was. That was amazing. But at the same time, for me, who was working as the ceremonies and protocol manager, was very difficult. It was difficult because I'd never done it before. I had done events. I had done amazing work in the event space, but I had never been introduced to the world of sports. I'd never thought I would do or I'd work for an organization at that level. It was tough. It was taxing, but at the end of the day, we had such an amazing experience. We had the most amazing opening ceremony. We had the most amazing games for, a period of about 10 days. Imagine hosting 4,000 people in your city. And for the first time, you have to figure it out. I, in some regard, was winging it. But at some point, I had to learn so quickly. But imagine if you were trained to be able to do that for your country. Why do we not win these big bids? It's because we are unskilled and untrained. Come on, Africa. We need the skills. We need the training. This is the time to go for that training, to go and volunteer even as a student in Australia. We volunteered during the 2000 Olympics in Australia. I would get on the bus and go to Sydney to go and stay with my cousin so that I could volunteer, so I could know what was going on, so that I could be doing something, anything. Volunteering, guys, it takes you places. So this is why I'm able to connect to this opportunity, because I have experienced it firsthand. I've experienced being part of something so big and seeing what happens to an entire economy when they host such big events, right? You don't think it's possible for Botswana or Zimbabwe or Namibia or Zambia? It is so possible. We just have to ready ourselves. We just have to empower ourselves as young Africans to be able to handle the responsibility, because it is a huge responsibility. It means that you need to be trained. You need to have the skills. Now, imagine being in Victoria during the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Imagine how amazing that's going to be. Imagine just being in Australia during that time, because so much happens in tourism, in travel, in in with food. With food, there's food festivals that are hosted just around these games, and you can travel around the country. There's so much excitement, but you can also work. You can find a place that is suitable for you, where you can start creating those skills and being trained for yourself. And when you have those skills, you come back and you're able to impart them on other people. You can host your own program and say, okay, young people, I was a volunteer at the Commonwealth Games. So I'm here to teach young people in my village, in my town, in my city, what it takes to be a volunteer in a large scale event, or to be trained in a certain discipline. We want to be able to encourage the corporate sector, for instance. And why I'm going to talk about the corporate sector is because one of the programs that we have within GESSA is workplace integration. We believe that every single person who goes to university, regardless of where, needs to know that there's a place for them once they're done with their degree. Now imagine knowing that before you go to school. Imagine identifying your future employer before you go to school. Imagine identifying your future employer while you're still in high school, and knowing that this is the organization that I would like to work for, or this is the organization that I would like to work with, because some of you are entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is where Africa is going. We believe so much in raising and in teaching and educating young entrepreneurs at a very early stage, because we know that this is how you learn to identify the programs that you want to participate in. This is how you know where to go in terms of your degree, right? This is how you know where you're going to have your network, how you're going to create your network. You need this kind of information. And we are trying to get this information across to everybody. We are a community. We're not just about students, but we're also about educating the corporate sector and governments about the opportunities that we can collaborate together to create for young people. And you don't pay a thing. Come on, it's all free. But if you want to support the program, we open it up to you to do so, because we realize that it takes a lot of work. It's taken us 8 months just to get here, just to bring all these partners on board, to be able to say, we want to get on board with GESSA. We want to be a part of this community. We want to be a part of this network, right? We want to be a part of encouraging young people to be a part of this program. So the corporate sector is so relevant. It's so important to us, and we want you to stay connected with what we do. Get on our social pages, register on gessasummit.org. The next few days are going to be so amazing. They're going to be amazing. You're going to hear things that you thought you knew. And like I said, there's things that I thought I was reading, but it's only when someone told me that I thought, wow, okay, now that makes sense. So you need to be able to get to a place where you apply yourself, guys. This is all about self-application. Growth means applying yourself. If you don't apply yourself, then you're not going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to do it for you. If you feel you've got the money to pay and so forth, and just go off and do it, go ahead. but that's not where the whole of Africa is. We want to reach people that people don't often reach. This is why we are going to start doing community outreach programs. We're going to start talking to organizations that can get Wi-Fi services out to community centers or to youth centers or to schools that are outside of cities. Why? Because there's a child there who is doing extremely well, and nobody is telling them what they can do. So we want to tell you that we want to keep reminding you that it's important to share information. If you have heard about GESSA today, what you're going to do firstly is share it with your friends, share it with everybody, tell everybody there is something called GESSA. Now, we're not afraid of hard work. We're not afraid of applying ourselves. I work with amazing people. Yeah, I told you about one of our partners in Australia, a good friend of mine, Sharon Orapeleng. You're going to hear all about her tomorrow. And there's Dr. Bujosi Hamuntepiri. There's Khalifele Molema, who has been so influential in how we've been able to navigate certain things, for instance, in South Africa. And some of the partners that have come through from South Africa, you know, it's so important to have a network around yourself of people that believe in what you're doing. So it helps that I had these amazing people in the US, my good friend Estefanos Berta Samuel, who contributed to this. My friends, Brian and Tiny Ngube, they're in the UK. They've been sharing this like crazy. They've been telling everybody, you've got to listen to this. You've got to be a part of this program. And the sponsors, Botswana Gazette, Yarna FM, Bojosi Law, and Psych Solutions, which is Sharon's company in Queensland. Bojosi Law is one of my clients, but Angie is a dear, dear friend and sister. And I've been so amazed by who she, you know, what she's been doing in her life. She's an amazing and aggressive female empowered lawyer. Come on now. She is amazing. And she has got a firm called Bojosi Law. You're going to hear about what she does this week, and she's going to tell you about certain things about education and, you know, where she's been, her experience, and you're going to start being able to unravel some of and unlock some of these ideas that you may have had, but hearing someone talk about it really makes sense. It helps a lot. And you'll be hearing from, you know, new friends that I have, because I've been meeting so many amazing people. We will be talking to the Botswana Digital and Innovation Hub CEO, Mr. Tshepo Tsheko, you know, talking about programs, talking about accelerators, talking about the things that are necessary to become a successful entrepreneur in Botswana and throughout the rest of Africa. And oh, there's somebody, Amogelang said, I'm here full time. Yes, you better be here full time. Stay with the program. You're going to love it. Another thing, we're going to talk about, we're really going to delve into entrepreneurship and what that means for the young African. Accelerator programs. We've got an amazing speaker. His name is Akira Melesio, and he is in Atlanta at the Georgia Tech Venture Lab. Guys, it's one of the most robust, amazing venture labs in the whole of the United States. And it does so much for entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship, scaling enterprises in terms of creating commercialization programs for entrepreneurs through incubators, through accelerator programs. It's just, there's a world out there that I believe that if we can start talking about these things, but in the lens, through the lens of education, then we're really going to go far. Because once you understand why your program, why all of these things are so important, concerning towards your program, then you start becoming excited about your programs, because you don't see school as just school anymore. You don't see your degree as just a degree. You see the opportunities, the networks around you, and the responsive. And some people are making themselves, you know, available for you as mentors. Imagine having mentors everywhere that you go. We are encouraging mentorship programs to join us so that when young people travel, they go to different countries, there's a network around them. I'm very, very thankful to be part of an amazing network, which is called the Yali Network, right? And I've got amazing people around me, people I can call and say, hey, I need a favor, or I want to talk about this. Can you help me? And it's been amazing. Honestly speaking, I don't know what I would have done without the network around me, but in so many different ways. I've had people just supporting me from the onset. My friend and sister, Demi Ramsden, she just said, okay, let's just figure it out. Like right from the beginning, you know, they came through for me. They came through for me. People that I have just met through friends and have just become sisters and friends. Kia Klabiwe, somebody who's just been spreading the gospel about GESSA. You know, it's been so amazing. My family, my friends, you know, they're always sharing and saying, you know, not just about the summit, but just to find out what GESSA is about and what it could what it could have in store for you. So young people, if you're young, if you're still in high school, today, talk to your parents. Just tell them, I want to be a part of the program. I want to follow them. I want to get the information. I want to know what they're doing. And parents, get involved. Don't leave your kids to just dream on their own. Be part and parcel of their dreams so that you also enjoy the fruits of their success. Now, that's amazing because when they win, we win. We need to just go the extra mile in trying to secure our children's future. If you don't have children, you've got nephews, you've got nieces, and they're never too young. They're going to grow up. If a child is 7 years old today, in 7 years' time, they'll be 14. And you're going to really need this information. But just keep abreast of what's going on in the world so you can help somebody. You can help your neighbor. You can help your cousin. You can help anyone in your community. And imagine somebody just asking you at work, you know, just confiding in you and telling you some of the challenges that they may have with their children. And you know about this program and you've been informing yourself about it. You don't even have to come to us. You know what's going on. You're able to say, oh, I learned this, so let me help you out. This is what we're trying to do. I am so thankful to all of my partners. I'm thankful to friends, to family. I'm so thankful to my own team and volunteers, my nephew and my daughter who've just put so much work into this. You know, I've got an amazing young gentleman has been helping with our tech as well. So we're definitely going to be introducing just these people just to say thank you, because contribution, people contribute to you, all you can do is really be thankful. Thank you to everyone who's just said, you know, I can't do much for you, but I'm going to share and I'm going to pray for you. So we receive that. We love it. We love your friendship. We love your partnership. All of our partners, all the presenters, I am so grateful for you because I know that what you have and what you'll be offering somebody who'll be listening to this is they are going to become partners with you because they're going to believe in the essence and in the foundation that you're going to set them up with. So we're in this together and I'm so thankful. Now, tomorrow we've got a full schedule and we're going to be sharing schedule on our Facebook page, on Twitter, on also on our LinkedIn. So just stay tuned in. Just follow GESSA and just, you know, if you can call me, call me. If you can text me, text. If you can send a comment, if you can send a message on Facebook or on Twitter, just DM us and we'll get back to you about this program. And you will be getting information. You know, last night we had hundreds. You know, it was so amazing. I went on Yarona FM with my dear friend Kels, and I remember just after the show, how many, when we got home, how many registrations we found. There's been hundreds of people registering overnight. So you can imagine just the impact that we know that we're creating, and we are here for it. We're thankful, we're excited about the week ahead. Thank you to everybody. You're going to hear from all the speakers tomorrow. We're going to put the lineup tonight of what you can expect tomorrow on the summit. Just stay tuned. If you're at work, you can watch it later. We're going to put on YouTube as well, so you can start following the YouTube page. Just go to GESSA Summit on YouTube, follow us. But we're going to be sharing all of these links so that you can watch the videos at a later stage. If you've got friends who have missed this, you can just tell them, go to YouTube, go watch it now. If you missed it with your excuses, don't have excuses, go to YouTube. I'm so thankful. I can see that Dorcas, thank you so much. Dorcas is a sister of mine. We've been going to church together for a long time. Thank you so much for sharing. I can see all of your amazing comments. I'm so excited. And my daughter and her daughter went to school together, and they're around the same age group. And I know that me and her are always kind of like, so I'm excited about this program, guys. Please share it with your network. That's all you can do. There's nothing complicated about it. It's free. It's for Africa. And you know that the more we connect with each other as Africans, do you know what that does? We become a united front. We become stronger. It's been amazing seeing people registering from Ghana, from Gabon, guys, from Gabon. And I was like, who do I know? And I was trying to think, who do I know in Gabon? I found that so amazing. From Togo, from Benin, from Nigeria, from Kenya, from Uganda, from Tanzania, from Swaziland. I've got an amazing, I've got amazing friends in Swaziland. My former roommate, Cindy Katwane. Thank you so much for the love, because I know that you've been so influential in also spreading this with your network and with your corporate network in Swaziland. And I've been getting so many amazing views and so many people just getting in touch with me about this program. Thank you to Nondu and to Wami. You have people who are very interested in education, but they took it, they just took their time out to start, talking about this program, marketing it and sharing it in Swaziland. I've been getting people sharing it in Namibia, in Zambia, in Malawi, in Zimbabwe. Hello to everyone in Zimbabwe. If you're watching this, I've been sharing this on the Watershed College page. Come on, alumni, support this. Your kids, your kids and my kids are now the same age. Let's do this together. It's been so exciting. Just talking to old friends, people went to high school with. It is so amazing, guys. This is an exciting thing for me, and I hope you're just as excited as I am. Thank you for being a part of this. We will be engaging more. Watch out for this tomorrow. There's going to be a lot more things. It won't be coming from me. As I said, you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. Thank you, everyone. God bless you, and we will talk soon.